I'm Maria Walther,
And I'm Jessica Walsh.
and we are two traveling teachers. Today we are here at Granger Middle School in Aurora, Illinois for some fall stories. And you'll notice behind us that they had a pumpkin decorating contest, all picture books and novel pumpkins behind
Favorite
us.
characters, favorite
characters,
books.
yes.
We've got Pigeon and Garfield, Piggy and Charlotte's Web.
And then even farther behind us, it seems we're always where Anderson's is. So there is an Anderson's book fair being set up. So that was coincidental.
Yeah, we didn't even know. Happy surprise.
Yes. So here's some fall favorites for you.
Yes, and I have to say I'm super excited about this because when I was a young reader, spooky stories were my absolute favorite. I read all the Goosebumps books, then moved on to Fear Street, Christopher Pike. So these are going to be some good ones for our readers. So I'm going to start with a transitional chapter book called Desmond Cole Ghost Patrol, The Haunted House Next Door. And so this is book one in a series. And it takes place in, the main character moves into a new house, and little does he know that it's haunted. But lucky for him, the next door neighbor is Desmond Cole of the Ghost Patrol. And so he's going to help him figure out why there's a ghost and how to get rid of him. And the illustrations in this book are so dynamic. My 5-year-old actually read the book today.
Yeah.
He read the book this morning, and he said, "Mommy, can you read it to me? Can you read the words to me so I know what's happening?" But the illustrations in this are just fantastic. So that's Desmond Cole Ghost Patrol by Andres Miedoso, illustrated by Victor Rivas.
And that's so supportive for the readers, too, for our young readers. So to pair with Desmond Cole, we're going to pair Sir Simon, which is a new book by Cale Atkinson, also about a ghost who is going into a house and wants to haunt it, but he really wants to make sure that the people in that house that he's going to be haunting are the right kind of people. So you can see here probably one of my favorite illustrations is where he has categorized the different kind of people that you might, perhaps haunt: old people, babies, teenagers, and so on. And so he ends up in the house, and he is joined by not really any of those. He's joined by a child, and so he and the child work together to haunt the house, and in that time become friends. So it's a spooky story, but not too spooky for our primary grade readers. It's called Sir Simon Super Scarer by Cale Atkinson. I can show you their favorite part. Notice that. Reminds me of Fecal.
I love when the front and the back cover kind of have,
Well,
there's
fun
something
in them.
extra on the back, yeah. So then up next I've got a book I just finished called Small Spaces by Katherine Arden, and this is a great middle grade. So what drew me to, what sold me was that R.L. Stein said terrifying and fun, so I was like, I got to buy this book. It was creepier than I thought, but it's perfect for middle grade readers, especially this time of year. I read it late at night, and I loved these spooky stories when I was little. Now I'm a big fraidy cat, really, and have a hard time reading spooky stories, so even this was thrilling for me. So I won't give away too many of the details, but basically a girl stumbles upon a woman on a creek, like a riverbed, who's not quite in her right mind, and discovers this book this woman is clutching, trying to throw into the river. Well, the main character is an avid reader, and she's like, "We don't throw books in the river. I will take that book if you don't want it anymore." Well, little does she know, the book is what is causing some of the problems. And so the woman says, when the girl snatches the book away, says, "Small spaces, keep to small spaces and see what happens to you. Just see." And so that kind of kicks off this spooky, not adventure, but really spooky journey to see what happens when she starts reading the book. So that Small Spaces, super creepy. Scarecrows, if scarecrows creep you out, then this is the book for you. So, so that's Small Spaces by Katherine Arden.
All right, and I am going to pair that with, so I was trying to think of small spaces. I didn't really do a good job, so I went with more of the big kind of creepy spaces. The first one is The Great Owl. This is wonderful for onomatopoeia, talking about that with the kids. And it is by Johnny Lambert. And in this book, there is this mysterious sound, so similar to the mysterious warning that she gets, ow, ow, and all the animals are trying to figure out who is making the great ow, and it's kind of got a surprise ending, so I'm not going to give that away, but you can see all the sounds that they're making here: bonk, bellow, hoot. So great for talking about onomatopoeia. at this spooky time of year. Also, I oftentimes on Halloween, even though all our kids don't celebrate, and we talk about that, but sometimes we do all the spooky sounds. We just write them down, all the spooky sounds we can hear. And then to pair with that, with the kind of the forest theme, this is a book called Surprise, and it's by Catherine Hadalaksono, and Carolyn Hadalaksono, and it is about a trio of animals who are trying to make friends. And in doing that, they decide to create a little welcoming party for the people who have joined them in the forest. And what they view as a welcoming party, the people view as them eating all of their food and scaring them.
I love that.
And so it's great for perspective, and it's just a fun story.
I love that because actually the forest plays a really big role in
Does it?
small spaces. Yeah, because that's where they have to go to hide to find the small spaces away from the fields where the scarecrows are.
Oh, there you
It's
go.
terrifying, yes. All right, so to continue along the path of scary, I've got a great YA graphic novel called Through the Woods, stories by Emily Carroll. And these are a series of short stories. So I should say it's a graphic short story collection by Emily Carroll. And so she not only has written the stories, but also done the illustrations. And they are creepy, but just beautiful. And you can tell from the cover, it's barely hanging on. This was super popular in my 7th grade class. The kids loved it. And so it's just amazing short stories, super creepy. The illustrations, the color, you can see it's very dynamic. And so that's Through the Woods by Emily Carroll.
All right, we're going to pair that with another collection of short stories for our primary grade readers. This is called The Haunted Hamburger. And so it is a collection of stories about the haunted hamburger and other ghostly stories that a father is telling to his 2 ghost children. And it's just got a lot of funny humor, so it's scary, just scary enough.
So the characters are ghosts.
Yes, the characters are ghosts, and then the first one's about the scary baby, and then the second one, of course, there's some diapers in here, which is always a big hit in the primary
diaper
grades,
talk.
and yes, and the haunted hamburger. So it's fun. It's just 3 stories. I mean, it will take, I don't read them all at once. Usually we read 1 or 2, and then the third one. But that's called The Haunted Hamburger and Other Ghostly Stories by David La Rochelle. So those are our spooky stories for this time of year. We're 2 traveling teachers. We look forward to seeing you next time.
Thanks.